PM, in the context of how our foreign policy has evolved, so in terms of our two closest neighbours, Malaysia and Indonesia, how have you managed relations over the past 20 years?
I think we have been lucky. Relations with both have been generally good. With Malaysia, I've worked with a succession of PMs, starting with Abdullah Badawi. And we've had good discussions with, I met all of them, and we've made progress with them as we went along. Different issues came up. For example, with Abdullah Badawi, he was PM when the Pedra Branca judgment at the ICJ was published. And I talked to him and we decided, yes, we will both accept this. And now we should move on and talk about the next stage, which is now the land is settled. What about the maritime borders? We talked about maritime delimitation. And so we made progress, but of course it takes time, and we're still discussing the maritime delimitation until today. Then Najib, we settled a very important matter, which was the POA land issue, the Malayan Railways land. And we did the land swap with them, which is why today you have the rail corridor, which a lot of people enjoy on weekends. If you go cycling there, you'll know it's because we did a deal. When the old railway station at Tanjung Pagar is done up again, which is soon going to be, you enjoy that. That's part of the deal. You go to Marina South, I think it's called Marina 1, the development jointly between Khazanah and Temasek. That was part of the deal. We gave them, I made Najib a generous offer to settle. He looked at it, he agreed. We went into the joint development. I think both sides are very happy and both sides made money from the development. And there's another development too in Duo at Bugis, which was also part of it. So it was a very important issue resolved with Najib, which had taken 20 years to get there. Now it's Anwar Ibrahim. I've met him many times since a very long time ago, even back in the 90s. So we know each other very well. We've been talking about significant cooperation. The RTS link in JB going to Woodlands is coming up, supposed to be done by end 2026. And I think a lot of Singaporeans are anxiously waiting for that to go and get their supper and their shopping in Johor Bahru, and Johorians to come here to work. We are talking about other issues, can be cooperative but also sensitive. Airspace, the maritime boundaries I talked about just now, water. These are things which need to be discussed. We haven't settled them, so there's work to be done by my successor. With Indonesia, I coincided with two Indonesian presidents, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. Very soon after I swore in, I went to attend his swearing-in ceremony in Jakarta. I think it must have been my first or second overseas visit. And we worked with him and we signed 3 agreements on airspace also, on military training and on extradition. In fact, I remember vividly, we went to Bali, had all the ministers there, and we settled the agreement. But it couldn't follow through, the politics was difficult. Then when Jokowi came in, he wanted to have another stab at it, and so did I. So we decided to press the matter. I asked Teo Chee Hean to look after our side of it and negotiate. On his side, he had a man called Luhut Panjaitan in charge, together with Prabowo, because the defense part was very important. And happily, they settled it. We signed it 2 years ago. It was ratified last year, and it has come into effect this year. So it's settled. So we're on a good basis to take our two countries the next step forward and cooperate together. I think both will always be complicated relationships. Nearest neighbours, permanently nearest neighbours. You have to work together, and yet there are always so many places where you can easily have different perspectives or rub up against each other. And I think if we both know that and both try our best not to collide, we can do many things together.